Well, good hump day morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up the football gods. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday morning. This is a short week, not much time to enjoy the conversations the win with the Philadelphia Eagles, because tomorrow we end up taking on the Tennessee Titans, where we are a 10-point favorite. Before I get to that, I want to make sure I clarify something. Last night during my fireside chat, I was talking about a fan who had sent me a text message, and I didn't know who the fan's name was, who had lost his mother. It's not my mother, but it is actually Patricia from New York, a Cowboy fan from there, who lost her mother the night before last. So, Patricia, our thoughts and prayers are definitely with you and going through in this time and things. So, I just want to clarify that. And that's where I always say, make the most of every day. We don't know how many we have. And every day that goes past is one day less that you have. I know that at 57 that I've got more road behind me than I do in front of me. And I'm trying to make a difference every day that I'm here to try and make my life better, as well as everybody around me's life better. And that's where we spend too much time. And it's sad today because I don't know what's wrong with people, where they are so filled with hate that hate is consuming them, and they just live to hate. There's a wonderful, beautiful world out there. So many things that you could be doing. Instead, people waste their time hating. I ain't got time for that. In the meantime, what I do have time for is my Dallas Cowboys, and tomorrow they will be debuting their alternate helmets. These boys are bad. These bad boys are fire right here. Take a look at these good boys. Take a look at this. The white cages, the white helmet. Now the Cowboys with their alternate uniforms and everything else, they don't get too far off script and things. I mean, this is groundbreaking for what the Cowboys do. I love it. I love it. I can't wait to see it. I hope that the Dallas Cowboys offense goes off. I hope they are as hot, white hot, as these are. Interesting thing. Our Cowboy fans are so ready to abandon ship. You're not the band playing on the Titanic. You know, they're still playing as water's coming up to them. Cowboy fans, you see the iceberg 5 miles out, you're jumping off the ship. You know something that's amazing about the Cowboys, and you know how my quarterback gets killed, and it doesn't matter who's talking. They won't look at the game of beating the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, I know they say it was Gardner Minshew, but I'm of the ilk of saying, so you're telling me that the Eagles offense was going to score more than 40 with Jalen Hurts against the Cowboys? Because they only scored 26 when they're going against Cooper Rush, who turned the ball over 3 times. 3 times. And Skip Bayless, I got this one for you. You know, Dak did throw that interception, and immediately you tweeted out, I miss Cooper Rush. I guess you don't remember the 3 interceptions that Cooper Rush threw against the Eagles. You must have selective memory. But be that as it may, you can't look at the Cowboys' receiving core or its offensive line in comparison to the Eagles. Honestly. I mean, let's be honest here. I'm giving you credit, Eagles. Your offensive line is far better than the Cowboys. It's not even close. Not even close. And with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and things, your receiving core was better than Michael Gallup coming back and CeeDee Lamb. Now, CeeDee Lamb has become a beast and all, but honestly, at best, we could say you're one. I mean, you're above us, or we're close to you. You guys have the advantages. Here's the thing that's amazing, though, and as much trash as Dak Prescott gets talked about him, that the Cowboys need to change quarterbacks, that Dak Prescott, he's thrown too many interceptions. The Cowboys went from 27th in scoring offense to 3 since Dak came back. And here's another one of those statistics. There's so many out there that you can always find some that are going to create your argument. But here's the thing that's kind of crazy. Yes, we have problems with some turnovers, especially in the first half. But in the second half, the Dallas Cowboys' second half scoring percentage. So that means when you get the football, how many times will you score percentage-wise? The Dallas Cowboys, 45.2% of the time, score when they get the ball in the second half. Their second half team. Where does that rank? Number 1, tied with the Kansas City Chiefs. And we've always known that Kansas City always starts off slow. How many times have we looked at a game at Kansas City and said, oh, my God, they're getting killed. Oh, so much for Pat Mahomes. Yet they always seem to score so much, especially in the fourth quarter. And we look at that and say, man, look at that. Kansas City, man, they're such a great second half team. Well, guess what? The Dallas Cowboys are right there with them. And even more importantly, the Cowboys are only half a point per game, points-wise, scoring, than Kansas City. And that's with 5 games of averaging 22 points a game. So, yes, Dak does have some interceptions. But this offense, when you look at it and say, well, now you got T.Y. Hilton, which definitely opens up things for him. With the guys that are around him, I don't want to hear this saying that, well, Dak's got the perfect situation, he's got the best receivers, best offensive line. And I don't want to hear that anymore. We used to hear garbage time, that Dak was only getting those yards in garbage time. These games are meaningful. Not playing against winning teams. There's Minnesota, there's the Bengals, there's the Giants twice, there's the Commanders, there's the Eagles. Don't win the big games. The only team in the NFL that's beat 2-11 win teams. All those arguments that were made about Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys thus far don't hold water.
This game could have gone sideways so many times. And where I want to give Dak credit, and where if you're a Cowboys fan, you have to have an odd sense of optimism surrounding this team right now, is after throwing that pick six, when 2 weeks ago he damn near gave away the Texans game with terrible interceptions. Last week, he did give away the Jags game with terrible interceptions. And then a couple days ago, with the whole country watching on Christmas Eve in the game of the week, he starts it off with a terrible interception. To respond to that by completing 14 straight passes, to respond to that by throwing for over 300 yards, getting his legs involved once again, looking like a young Dak, and completing that 3rd and 30 to ultimately beat the Philadelphia Eagles, gives you the real reason for optimism if you're a Cowboys fan, which is, hold on. Have you seen the NFC quarterback roster? Hell, look at the Pro Bowl roster, which was Jalen, deserved but injured right now, and then Geno Smith and Kirk Cousins. And you look at the potential playoff quarterbacks. Those 3 guys, throw in a Daniel Jones, potentially Taylor Heineke or Carson Wentz, depending on who they're going to go to there. You've got, obviously, Tom Brady, who we'll discuss later in the show, but is for the first time in his career looking his age. And then you have Dak Prescott. Oh, yeah, and Brock Purdy, a rookie 7th rounder for the most talented roster in the league, but a rookie 7th rounder. And then you have Dak Prescott.
There you go.
29 years old, coming off a season when they had the highest scoring offense in football. This year, with the offensive line finally getting healthy, with a defense that, while has been somewhat exposed over the last month, we know when it plays its A game, has top 5 in the league potential, and has a guy in Micah Parsons who's going to finish, I believe, 2nd in Defensive Player of the Year voting. I think Nicky Bosa, pardon me, might have locked it up yesterday, and if he didn't lock it up yesterday, he probably should have. But you have top flight defenders at every single level. You are oddly right now one of the healthier teams in the conference. Mm-hmm. And you are the team that has been the conference juggernaut throughout the regular season. You've stared in the eye and hung 40 on them. And that is so for the Dallas Cowboys, this is their moment. We know they're going to be the 5 seed. We know they're going to be on the road in week 1, because I don't think they're going 2-0 and Philly's going 0-2 down the stretch, and all of a sudden they steal the division. Just give them the 5 seed. They're on the road in week 1 of the playoffs, either facing Sam Darnold or facing what's left of the Tampa Bay Bucks. A good opportunity, by the way, for revenge against the Bucks, that week 1 19-3 embarrassing defeat. And then, in all likelihood, the following round, you are either going to Minnesota, a team you beat 40-3, or round 3 against Philadelphia. And I don't know how anyone who's being fair and honest about the Cowboys can't say this is their best chance to go on a deep playoff run. Ooh. The best chance they've had since Dak's rookie season, when they got snake bit by what was at the time still a prime Aaron Rodgers in an all-time game. This is a team that's well documented, but has not been, forget a Super Bowl, to a conference championship game in more than a quarter century. The only teams in the conference with a longer conference championship game drought are the sad sack Lions and the embarrassing Washington Commanders.
Left hand up.
The NFL Network is
okay. Damn. The Dallas Cowboys getting some love? Are you serious? The Dallas Cowboys? I'm going to say that I have to kind of agree with them. When you look around the NFC right now, everybody is on the Jalen Hurts is great and everything else. He's got 1 playoff game experience. You start thinking about Sam Darnold. You think about Kirk Cousins in prime time. He's got 1 playoff win. You think about Tom Brady right now and how they're struggling to score points and how that team is definitely looking like a retirement home. Now, what would scare me about that is if Gronk did show up this week or something. But you start looking around, I think the Cowboys have as good a chance as anybody else to make some noise. They've been battle tested. They played they played all of the top teams except for San Francisco this year. So why not the Cowboys? All right. So I'm going to be, I got to go pick up this washer and dryer. I'm going to be on the road today. And I'm going to go see my friend Allie, who is an Eagle fan. You might remember, this is going to be fun. You might remember when we lost to the Eagles the first game, me getting up and looking like I was run over by a truck. My friend Allie in the kitchen making coffee and doing the Fly Eagles Fly. We'll see how she is today. All right, good people, you know how we roll. It's time to get out of here.
Our coach here, as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Sports Report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Yeah.